Excelente, etc.
Thrill me.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Horror Flicks and Guitar Picks podcast. I'm your host, Tim, and today I'm joined by both Erik and Jack of the band Bonginator. How's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Doing good, thank you.
Of course, stoked to have you guys on the show, and I'm stoked for the new record, which by the time this episode drops, it'll already be out, called Retrodeath. Do you guys just want to let the people know a little bit about the new record and, where they'll be able to find it when it drops?
It's going to be available everywhere. When this comes out, we're going to be on tour, so hit up a show and pick up a vinyl.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, it'll be on all the streaming and stuff, if I'm not mistaken, as well, right?
Yeah.
All the places you usually find your music, it'll be there.
Hell yeah. No, I'm stoked for the record. I've heard the 4 songs you guys already, I think it's 3 or 4 that you guys already have out, but Short Ass Bus has been on repeat for sure recently. So.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, and you guys have a bunch of horror references in the new album. You got the thing on the front cover, as well as you got Sexy Sax Man himself, Tim Capella, on the outro.
Oh yeah.
Is horror something that brought you guys together, when creating the band and stuff like that, or have you guys always been friends that bonded over horror and stuff like that, or?
Well, so Jack's Jack's the newest addition to the band, right? He joined a year ago. And yeah, it's definitely something that brought us together.
Yeah, we've always been hanging out watching horror movies. That's been pretty consistent over the last however many years we've been friends.
I think it's very like me and Jack, as far as the horror and the movie, all the references and shit, that's our forte. And the other guys are into it, but I don't think they're as that's specifically why I asked Jack to be with me in this interview.
Yeah.
And yeah, the longer you look at that album art, the more references you're gonna find to just stuff we love. There's something for each one of the songs, but then there's lots of other stuff in there too.
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
We got these in the mail yesterday.
Oh fuck yeah!
We got our physicals. So the artwork looks clean as hell on there.
Oh yeah! And who did the artwork?
Track listing. His name's Dan Goldsworthy.
Oh yeah.
And he does a bunch of this Ed Repka style artwork for a bunch of bands. He did the the Corpse Grinder album art for his solo project.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He did the newest Evil Dead album.
Yeah, for Autopsy.
Yeah.
No, Aborted.
Yeah, he does a lot of aborted stuff too.
This is the disc. This is half of them are they're random recycled plastic, so the colors are random. We got this cool dark green and black on this one.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. That makes it even everybody gets kind of something rare, they the one thing. Oh yeah. Now I'm seeing
they offered we doing a bunch of different color variants, so it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. No, definitely everybody gets a one-off. And you mentioned Corpse Grinder. I'm seeing Cannibal Corpse Tuesday. I'm stoked as fuck for that. So
nice, have fun.
This is the lyric sheet. My buddy Sean from Frog Mallet made this lyric sheet. And it looks all Windows 97.
Yeah. No, shit is nostalgic as fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't show up super well, but that just means you have to get one and see it for yourself.
Right. You see enough of it. It's definitely coming through enough. I can 100% see, I saw the paint, with the with all the colors and shit brought up. I was immediate nostalgia for sure. I used to have a Windows 98 for fucking ever that I used to have to listen to the dial-up tone every time I want to get on the internet, get kicked off if people call. I'm like, God damn it, stop calling people. I got
Yeah,
the way he made this, you can find they have Windows 96 emulators that you can just use in browser. They have websites that you can just run Windows 96 on. So that's where we got all the graphics for it.
Oh yeah. Now, and of course, we talked a little bit about how you guys, bonded through horror and stuff like that. How did you guys get into horror growing up, individually? And did it change at all as you got older and became an adult, your relationship with horror?
Yeah, so for me, it started, I was 8 years old when I saw my first horror movie. I was always really into spooky stuff. I loved Scooby-Doo, I loved Goosebumps, all that. But my first brush with actual horror, I saw Tales from the Crypt's Demon Knight on TV when I was somewhere between like 8 and 10 years old, and it scared the hell out of me. I had nightmares for like weeks, but I couldn't get it out of my head, and I started seeking out more stuff like that. And I really didn't get too deep into the more, I guess, cult and obscure stuff until I was like 17-ish. That's when I watched Phantasm for the first time, and that's when I really started seeking out more stuff like that. And just, there were tons of 70s and 80s horror movies just kind of up for free on YouTube. So I just bombed through as many of them as I could, like every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What about you, Eric? How'd you get into horror? And did it change at all as you got older and became an adult?
Yeah, so I think like what really got me into horror and then pretty much everything else that I'm like into on the album was James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Oh yeah.
Um, I watched his videos like religiously growing up, and then every year he does Monster Madness, where he like reviews horror movies or like not necessarily just horror movies, but like he also does a bunch of kaiju movies and stuff for
Yeah.
like the whole month of October. So like that exposed me to a lot of like more niche titles. Um, and yeah, I think that's really what got me into it. I love Angry Video Game Nerd, and I think that was one of the things at an early age that like inspired me to start creating. He's just like you see he can make some like really cool stuff with like very little low budget kind of production, and I think that kind of really inspired me to start creating at a young age. And I think the only difference between then and now is that like I have grown up money and I can like buy stuff like VHS tapes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
No, hell yeah. Plus everything's so much easier to like you don't have to like before you go to the video store and rent maybe three movies, have them for a week, but nowadays it's like you have streaming with thousands of fucking movies, so it's so much easier just to watch
Oh
and
yeah.
intake stuff these days, but and to catch up on old stuff because I'm the same way like I was similar to like you Jack when I was young I was watching like I watched like Goosebumps and stuff, but I was kind of scared of horror movies until I got a little older. And then even then when I started watching them, I was watching like just what was like coming out at the time, like because it was
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah, so when I finally started diving back, it was nice to have. It was about the same time as like all the streaming and stuff happened, so I was lucky enough to be able to find all that stuff so readily available and uh for sure. But no, it's nice, and that's one thing that's always cool is to have that one thing that like shows us like it's always nice to see somebody like succeed with like a DIY spirit and then let you know that you could just carry that spirit as well, which is one thing that made me do this show is because metal and mixing the metal and horror, both worlds do a lot of DIY stuff from the indie horror world. So just like a lot of the metal bands and stuff are out there grinding and making stuff work and shit like that. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
but hell yeah, you guys mentioned a couple movies and people that were like like part of you getting into horror movies. Do you have favorite horror movies of all time? And of course, you can shout out that number one, but also feel free to shout out like a couple top spots. You don't have to just shout out one.
I know a huge one for both of us is Pieces.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
Pieces was my fast answer for a long time, and it's still absolutely up there. I think my fast answer is switched for me to Night of the Creeps.
It's a great one. Yeah.
I think that's just a perfect horror movie. It's got something for everybody. It's got Tom Atkins and his beautiful mustache. It's just fun and it's gross and it's funny. It's got great special effects. But no, I mean, I have a lot of favorites, and I really love shot on video stuff too. I kind of put that in a whole other category for me. Uh, my favorite in that realm is probably Leaf Yonkers Darkness.
Yeah.
Just insane vampire movie with tons of gore and a crazy metal soundtrack. Zombie Bloodbath, Killing Spree, The Abomination. Those are other like gold standard shot on videos for me.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really what I dive into these days. I've seen most of the like low budget. Now I go for micro budget homegrown stuff.
Well, when Jack and I first started hanging out, I asked him for recommendations, and he told me about Pieces, and I checked it out, and then I immediately wrote "Chop to Pieces."
Hell yeah. That's sick as
Yeah,
fuck.
that's what that song's about.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it takes place in Boston too, so I think that was a huge part of why.
Even though the
I
whole
wrote a song
thing
about
is
it.
is filmed.
Yeah,
Bang.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
They got
only-
like they got like two shots of like Harvard, and then like
And then you go film in Madrid. 'cause it's
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, they sent one guy with a camera. They're like, just go shoot some buildings and shit, and we'll just say it happened that way. But
Movies did that all the time back then.
Yeah, I love every Italian film where there's like 2 helicopter shots of New York and then the rest of the movies in like South America.
Yeah.
you Now I was watching New York Ripper the other day, and it did the same thing where it's like it's
Oh
supposed to be
yeah.
in New York, but it's like
Yep.
they just went and shot a bunch of outside shit. But it's funny that you guys brought up Pieces. I was watching Slugs by the same director actually this morning. So I don't know if you guys ever watched
Which
Slugs,
one?
but Slugs.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Slugs, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
Slugs is awesome.
Slugs is great.
Yep.
That's just wild. But when you mentioned the shot on video ones, I've seen Darkness, but the other three I haven't seen, so I have to definitely put them on the list for sure.
Yeah.
What was the Evil Dead rip from Hawaii?
Oh man. Oh, I own this one. I can't remember
That
the
was
name of it.
That was probably my favorite shot on video that you've shown me, aside from Things.
It's out from Visual Vengeance. They have it out on Blu-ray. Slaughter Day. It's called
Yes.
Slaughter Day.
It's like it's an Evil Dead clone. Like it's very similar, but what really stood out to me was like they did these like first of all, there's a lot of kung fu and karate in it.
Yeah,
and
there's
it's
yeah.
done so fucking well, and like they really gave a fuck about that. And then there's a few shots where they do like these practical effects that like you can tell exactly what they're doing, but they really did execute it really well.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like you can where yeah, you can obviously you can tell it's fake, right? Like
Yeah, it's shot on video. It's
yeah,
ultra
but
cheap.
it's like you see the passion and the direction they were going for, and you can still appreciate it just as much as I would like when I'm watching The Thing, some like
Yeah.
super high budget special effects stuff.
Yeah,
No,
that's
those
one of the things I love about shot on video for sure is just like how much people can do with so little.
Yeah. No, again, it goes back to that like very DIY aspect and stuff like that. But I'll definitely have to put that one on the list for sure. Slaughter Day. One of my favorite.
Slaughter Day.
Have y'all checked out Raw? I think it's called Raw Force. It's about like it's kind of like half porno, half zombie film. It's almost like all these people end up like on a boat and they're like fucking and doing all this. It's like a big swinger party, and all of a sudden zombies start showing up. And instead of like them like getting eaten by the zombies, they start like kung fu fighting the zombies and shit like that. I definitely recommend that
That's
one.
You said Raw Force?
Yeah, it was put out by Vinegar Syndrome, I think.
Oh no, I do. I own Raw Force. I do know Raw Force. I have that one in my collection.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, there's one other one I just picked up. I can't remember. This is either Visual Vengeance or from Saturn's Core, but it's called Age of Demons, and it is way more kung fu heavy than I expected with that name. It's like mostly kung fu. There's one demon. It's called Age of Demons, but there's only one. Um, and there's like fighting robots and like I love it when movies, especially shot on video, just decide they want to make a kung fu movie too.
The one that you got that ended up just being a straight up German porno.
Death Shock. It wasn't German, but it was shot on video, and I just saw like, oh, obscure shot on video VHS. I'll grab that. And it's called Death Shock. And like halfway through the movie, I'm like, okay, this is definitely just porn. Like 2 people have
Right.
died. It wasn't graphic, and there's been like 8 sex scenes, like
Am I,
graphic sex scenes.
am I watching a snuff film? Was this like, did they really die? No, I no, that's the one fun thing about like those films though is when the most random shit like the names will never match up. Of course, it's not a porno, but that movie Night of the Demon or whatever I think it's called. That's
Oh, I
about
love, yeah,
Bigfoot.
yeah.
It's a fucking Bigfoot movie. It's like you wouldn't expect that going into a movie called Night of the Demon. So no, I love when they do shit like that. Especially those old movies, and then you find out they have probably like 4 other names. Like they were called.
That's my favorite, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
renaming stuff.
Fear in the City of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's notorious.
There's like after Demons 2, I think Demons 3 was still kind of a Demons film, but Demons 4 through 6 are not Demons films. They were different movies that didn't do well. They were like, fuck it, this is a Demons movie now.
Yeah, Fulci's Gates to Hell was originally called like Fear in the Town of the Living Dead.
Oh
And
yeah.
then it was renamed to City of the Living Dead, and then it came out in the US as Gates to Hell.
Yep.
Really just has nothing to do with the other two names. But it's
Yeah.
a great movie, and the soundtrack is sick. There's that one.
Oh yeah, Fabio Frizzi's unbelievable.
There's that one. I forget the name of the song, but the dun 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 dun. It's really cool. Really
Like-
iconic sounds.
That's the one that opens with the priest like hanging himself in the cemetery, I think.
Yeah, and that's got one of my favorite kills of all time when the two people are in the car and the girl
Oh
just
yeah,
starts like vomiting all of her entrails out, and then they
Yeah.
just keep coming out.
yeah. I like the one where the dad kills the guy that's in the car with her because he's like mad about it. He like shoves his head into the fucking like drill thing. Or
Yeah.
no, that's
Yeah,
fucking
that's a classic.
no. Those movies are gnarly. Those are ones that I'll watch and then like 6 months later I'll try to remember it and it's like yeah, I really have to pull that shit back out of my memory just because when you're watching them they feel like a dream because they just like every
Yeah.
5 seconds it switches to something else and
Oh
You
yeah.
gotta check out Things.
oh yeah, no, Things is one that
You
uh
seen it?
no I they showed it on Joe Bob and I meant to watch the Joe Bob version of it
Oh,
for
that was a
so
great
long
episode.
and then I keep forgetting like I keep wanting to do it but I want to do it with like a I don't want to do it alone, you know what I mean, like I want to wait until I have a group to watch
Get
it.
other people.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, because I feel like I'll just be bored by myself, or I'll be sitting there laughing and I'll be like,
Get,
but it would
get
be
other
funner with,
people. Get other people that aren't into it as much as you.
yeah.
Right?
That's
You
what,
know,
Yeah.
you want to subject people to this movie.
I'll do that to
Um,
my cousin. I did that with Poultrygeist to my little cousin. He was
Oh,
just like,
Poltergeist is great. Yeah, you will either love things or you'll despise it. Like there's really no in between. You'll either be like, this is the greatest thing to ever be made, or you'll wish you'd never fucking seen it.
yeah. It's very hard to follow. It's hard to look at. It's hard to like it's really hard to make out like what you're looking at. Like it's shot very dark, right? But then at the same time like um there's a lot of continuity errors and it's really hard to like make out what's going on. But that's kind of just part of the beauty of it. It's things, you know?
I was just going to say the title says it all. Things. It's
You
just things.
must
Like,
experience things.
hell yeah. No, I think you showed it with Sledgehammer, which I have seen Sledgehammer before, but
Yep. Yeah, that was a shot on video night. I have the things segment on the VHS back when Ship to Shore Media was around and they were selling those.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Now I got one of the Joe Bob Jamboree records or whatever from the Ship to Shore crew and stuff. I think I got,
Yeah, I miss them.
Real
yeah.
quick, I want to show this CD. Uh we got the CDs in too, and it's the same
Oh, fuck yeah.
artwork and stuff. Um this is like the full lyric sheet like spread out. You can kind of see it
Hell yeah.
better that way.
Yeah.
And then my favorite part, like these CDs came out so sick.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's like yeah, it's like the top's reflective and shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that old school with like the track listing on it and then but the blood splatter.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good. We definitely wanted like the physical media to look straight out of the 80s. And then I also have the tape with me.
And I remember that being in the car sometimes and I can't find the track listing, so I have to pop the CD out, look at it, and be like, oh, it's number 9, and then put the CD back in. Like,
The tape again, like a lot of the same layout on it, but we really went for this like super minimal tape design,
oh fuck yeah.
which like usually we go super flashy, but I wanted this to look um like you know how like on old Commodores you would get computer programs on cassette tapes.
Yeah. Sorry, it froze for a second, but it caught up.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I wanted it to look like that. So, yeah, really basic black cassette.
Hell yeah. No, it looks sick as fuck for sure. No, I like that basic look, with especially with like that. I can never think of but that like grid font. You know what I mean? That very like retro font definitely works for
Yeah.
sure. Hell yeah. No, no. I meant to even. Sorry, I moved on from promoting the stuff so quick, but I did mean to actually ask
No,
you
it's
guys
okay.
if you had anything else you want to promote. Which at the back end of the show, I had. Of course, I'll leave y'all with to promote stuff. But if you guys have any, do you guys have any other bands or anything else going on with Bonginator coming up that you want to promote?
We share members with RSI, Retained Surgical Instrument. Really sick band from out here. We got our buddies in Frog Mallet, Groaning Wretch, Wretched Inferno. A lot of sick bands out here. Cannabis Crypt.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Eric and I have a cyber gore grind project we do together called Scissor Hash.
Yeah, Scissor Hash.
Um,
Practical Gore.
yeah, I have an all horror themed band called Practical Gore. We really go for like the deep cut stuff there. Lots of fun samples.
Yeah, Practical Gore is way more horror oriented. Like we take the inspiration, but I think I mostly focus on like action movies and shit and just pure nostalgia movies. But
Yeah.
Practical Gore is like very like all the movies that we're talking about right now.
Hell yeah. No, I definitely have to check out Practical Gore for sure. That's awesome.
You'll definitely dig it.
Hell
And
yeah.
then This next tour, we got a fill-in drummer from the band Cave Dweller. They're really
Oh
sick,
yeah.
so I'll shout them out too.
No, yeah, that's awesome. Definitely check out all those projects for sure. And I won't be able to link them all in the description, but I'll definitely put the Bonginator, website in the description. And if you guys have anything else that you want me to like link in the description, definitely just shoot it over and I'll copy and paste it for sure. So.
Yeah, if you go on googleimages.com and then you look up you type in the search bar, you want to look up big boobs. Yeah.
And then just that link there, just put that.
Yeah.
Put that one. Big boobs. It'll just say die images / big boobs / big boobs.
Have you ever been on googleimages.com, dude?
They have fucking
They
everything.
got everything, dude.
Oh, there's like an actual website that's googleimages.com, not just like are you just fucking with
Dude,
Yes,
yeah,
Google Images.
googleimages.com.
Images.google.com.
I was about to say I just used the tab, dude. I'm fucking old.
Yeah, if you were that was how you used to have to do it. There wasn't a tab. You had to go to Google
And
Images.
then if you really want to get down and dirty, there's this button on there that says I'm feeling lucky.
You got to make sure you're really feeling lucky, though.
No. But, to go back to the horror movies,
Yeah.
I don't know how to. I'm trying to segue back out. That's why I'm sitting here awkward silencing because I'm like I don't know how to segue that back to horror movies. But I guess you could Google big boobs in horror movies while you're there at
You can. There's a lot of those.
But
Linnea
yeah, right. She's the queen of it. Another one I was watching. This is 31, so I'm watching like one every night. That's why I'm like I've been watching this and that. But I actually just watched Night of the Demons last night.
Ah, it's so good, dude.
So,
One of my
We,
favorites.
of course, also have the Zombie Party Rockers, which is about return.
hell yeah. No, fucking one of the best movies of all time for sure. Do you guys have any other favorites you want to shout out, or maybe even some recent stuff that you just enjoyed that might not be favorites, but just kind of caught your eye recently?
Dude, I've gonna be honest. I've been meaning to yesterday I was like, it's fucking October. I gotta watch more horror movies, but I've just been watching Lord of the Rings, and I've been watching so much just like vanilla ass TV. I just finished The Middle. I finished Young Sheldon. I finished The Big Bang Theory. I don't know. I guess I've just kind of been in like my comfort zone recently.
Oh yeah.
But I've been like, all right, it's fucking October 17th, rest of the month. I've really got to get back into my horror movies.
I've been pretty good about it this month. My favorite newbie of the month was VHS Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
That just dropped on Shudder. It was really solid. Second bit was kind of slow, but there's some really good stuff on there.
Last year was a huge year for we saw a lot of shit in theaters.
Yeah, I went to the movies more last year than I had in many other years.
It was Terrifier 3. I mean, that was the huge one, you know.
Yeah.
We saw The Substance.
We saw The Substance. That was sick. I watched it on mushrooms in the theater, and it was incredible.
That was it was very intense.
a lot of the music, yeah, it was really fucking cool. In a Violent Nature, I was really impressed by that.
I really
A
liked
lot of
it.
people fucking hated that movie, and I really don't get it.
No, I liked it. It's what I expected it to be. I didn't expect.
Yeah,
Like,
I think people kind of expected something else. So it's like, yeah, no shit, he's walking through the woods. He's a woodland maniac. It's where he
Yeah.
lives.
right. No, I was like, do you
what was
expect an
it?
action-packed movie with that?
The Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
other one.
That was,
And Maxine. I also went out to see Maxine last
I
year.
haven't done so much on the Pearl the X movies.
Those are all fun. I think Pearl's the best one. But
Late
Maxine's
Night with
good.
the Devil was really sick, really cool concepts. But there were just a few shots in there that were a huge letdown, just
Yeah.
bad CGI or something. But for the most part, it was a really fun movie.
No, I agree. That CGI, especially in like the climax of the film, is like what
With
took
the
the film.
ghost.
The ghost,
It's so
Yeah. It took me from being like it could have been like probably one of my like top 3 films of the year, but it ended up just being like bottom 10. Like it was still probably like a top 10 film, but
out of it.
It takes me out. I was really immersed, and then I was like,
yeah. And everything else
Um,
they'd done previously was so practical that it's like you think that they would have stuck in that realm, but like when the guy's like throwing up shit everywhere and stuff.
yeah, shit was cool.
I want to bring up another really fun shot on video that I like to bust out this time of year. It's called Hollow Gate.
Oh yeah.
I think TerrorVision put that one out, and it's not particularly gruesome. But it's fun. There's a killer that's like switching Halloween costumes the whole movie, and each kill is like based around the costume he's wearing. Lots of great Halloween vibes everywhere. That's a good one to bust out. And then I also just watched Night of the Reaper. That's another Shudder one that just dropped.
Oh yeah.
Not particularly gruesome. There is one really fucking good kill towards the end. But great concept, great seasonal vibes. So I would definitely. I know we're past Halloween when this drops, but next year when it's time to put together your rotation, Night of the Reaper is a good pick.
So actually, recently I did watch two movies that aren't necessarily horror movies, but they're very unsettling to watch. Um, I had to look up the name Jan Svankmajer. He was a Czech, like from the Czech Republic, filmmaker. What he did two movies I saw. One was a adaptation of Faust, and one was an adaptation of Alice in Wonderland. And but what he does is just really, really uncanny and unsettling kind of stop motion. Um, think about like, have you seen Mad God?
Yeah.
Like similar sort of imagery, but just like a fraction of the budget, and not as well done,
Yeah.
but still very profound and just like, yeah, just really unsettling to look at. I know Faust was like a combination of a lot of stop motion, like claymation and shit, but then there was a lot of like marionette puppets, which can be like really fucking creepy to look at.
Yeah.
Um, and then the Alice in Wonderland one he did, there was a lot of shit that was like a lot of the scenes, Alice is like a little China doll. And then like some of the characters were made with like skeletons of like animals and stuff.
Oh, shit.
That was just really cool to watch. Like, yeah, really cool imagery. But again, not horror, but very unsettling.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Did y'all see that movie stop motion that came out last year? I think it was. Or
No, I never got
No.
around to that one.
I
But I wanted to.
I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend it, especially if you got Shutter, which I know you guys do because you already mentioned it.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I do.
no, hell yeah. Now, I tried to watch Night of the Reaper one night. And my problem with Shutter lately is I feel like their sound does not like whatever they got going on sound wise with the new movies has
They
been like,
have weird problems with that sometime. I don't know if you remember when the Joe Bob episode for the Toxic Avenger came out, but the audio for the whole movie was fucked. It kept like panning like left and right and like crossing. It was really like it sounded like out of phase at times. It was weird.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, every now and then Shutter's got some weird technical problems.
No, it was two movies that I tried to watch back to back, and it was only newer ones because then I watched something older and I didn't have the issue. But I tried to watch Dangerous Animals and I tried to watch Night of the Reaper, and both times my son was sleeping in the same room, so I was like trying to watch it, but I didn't want it to wake him up, and it would be so quiet during the dialogue I couldn't hear shit. And then as soon as the sound, like every time like a note would hit in the score, it would be loud as fuck, and I'm like I can't even hear what they're saying, and
They
it's still loud as fuck. It's
they do that for like the theater experience, but
yeah,
it really doesn't translate well for just watching shit at
No, it
home.
just makes it harder to watch because I gotta
Dude,
turn my TV down.
yeah,
when we're on tour, like it's almost impossible watching movies in the bus for that reason. Because like the dialogue scenes will be like so fucking quiet, and we like the bus is moving and like makes a lot of noise,
yeah.
so like it's really hard to watch. Fun fact, my sister, when Shutter first started, my sister worked for them for a
I
little
didn't
bit.
know that.
Yeah.
Hell
Now
yeah,
she works for Google. It
hell
was
yeah.
very short lived, but yeah.
Google, not Google Images, right? I'm just kidding. No, hell yeah. Of course, feel free to shout out, any other movies you got as you guys think of them and stuff. But in the back half of the show, I usually like to ask at least like one hypothetical question that mixes the music and movies, as well as like I have one question to ask all my guests to end this show. And of course, I'll give you one last, time to promote everything that you guys want to promote, or just remind people of the new record. But the hypothetical question is, would you guys ever be interested in scoring a horror movie? And, it could be something you guys do together, or just like a separate thing. And if so, which subgenre would you like to do? I know that's not really given as an option to the person composing the score, but in this hypothetical world, it is. So,
It's something that I've always wanted to do. I do all the electronic stuff in Bonginator.
oh yeah,
And so that's something that like I've really always wanted to do. In one of our early songs, the I forget what it's called. One of the interludes on Doink City, someone actually licensed it for a movie, and that was a proud moment for myself.
hell yeah.
Um, I was glad someone liked it that much. But yeah, no, if the opportunity ever presented itself, like it'd be something I'd hop on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really something I've considered. I don't know if I have the musical talent to come up with a good score, but I do feel like I've seen enough horror, especially for the vibe I'd be going for.
You've taken a stab at writing, like
Yeah,
screenplays and shit. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but it's definitely. I mean, I'd want to be involved in anything horror. It's my favorite thing in the world. I do my own special effects sometimes. Like once a year for practical gore shows. We have a festival called the New England Death Metal Fun Time Bonanza.
Hmm.
That's something to keep an eye out for. Big 3-day thing. But I always that's like practical gore's biggest audience of the year every year. So we try and do something special. First year we did it, I ripped somebody's arm off, and then we had Eric come up for a vocal feature on one of our songs.
Guts out.
Yeah, he
It was
pulled
sick.
his entrails out and threw them at people. We had some blood spray.
A fun story with that was like Jack was like showing me how they're gonna spray the blood, and basically I'd have like the tank of blood fixed to me, and then Jack was gonna blow into the tube, but he was going like really fucking hard, and like nothing was coming out. And I was like, Jack, I have this idea. If you really want to move some air through this thing. And I went back to where our buddies in Frog Mallet were camping, and they had like 6 or 7 Whippet tanks. And so we rigged the Whippet tank to that, and we had Whippet powered special effects. So that was pretty cool.
Hell
This
yeah.
this year we switched that out for a sump pump, and I sawed. We built like a special table for this. We had our merch girl stick her head through, and I built a whole fake body cast. So we sawed her in half, and the blood shot out the
Yeah.
bottom, and then we ripped both of our arms off, and those both shot blood.
It was way easier to control that way for sure.
Yeah, the sump pump was the way
Yeah.
to go.
And
But
I was able to like when each appendage came off the first time, use like a big stream, and then I would like unplug it and plug it back in, so you get like arterial bleeding.
yeah, it's
You know
like
what
little
that is,
squirts out.
where it's like
Yeah.
at the heartbeat, like yeah.
Hell yeah. No, that sounds like something you could see in a movie about making a horror movie where it's not working, and the next thing you know, you see somebody walking up taking whippets. He's just like, "I got this," and sticks it.
It was great. It
I mean,
totally got the job done.
Fuck
So,
yeah,
you
that's
know,
awesome.
when they were filming the first Friday the 13th, I believe it was, there was a part where, yeah, the air system for the blood wasn't working, but a guy just started blowing into it, and then he'd have to like breathe, obviously, and then blow back into it. And that created the first time, maybe not the first, but I remember that created that arterial bleeding effect. And they
Yeah,
were like, that looks way more realistic, so they kept it.
yeah. I
And
think it was
now,
what Kevin
now,
Bacon's.
yeah, the one with the mom.
Yeah, I think it was Kevin Bacon's death where he's like laying on the bed and they poke
Yeah, and it's from
the
the
arrow.
neck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. No, that's fucking sick. But did you guys have a subgenre that you'd like to score if you scored a horror movie?
Oh yeah. I mean, for me, like I love just the classic slasher synth sound. I
Yeah.
think that's what
Okay.
we would probably both go for.
Let's say that, yeah, or like science fiction.
Yeah.
The only thing I really don't give a fuck about is anything paranormal.
Yeah.
And then like most things involving like Satan and stuff, it's just like as far as like a score goes, right? It's never been super interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of like religious music motifs.
Yeah, like
especially
anthems and shit.
nowadays.
Yeah.
I like using like old drum machines and all that shit, and you know, like the reason they all sound like that is because these directors didn't think about scoring until the last minute, so they bought a Casio and just did it, you know.
Yeah. Or all the
And then-
Italian movies that have just like, look, I would get my favorite prog rock band and then they'll just do every fucking score
Yeah,
from then on
yeah.
out.
the Italian scene is definitely different in that regard. I mean, yeah, you got like Goblin, and then of course the Goblins, and you know, Goblins, and you know, all
The Goblin.
yeah, all those bands that just you know did the same thing, but
A lot of it was the same members, and they would just like change
Yeah.
lineups and like break off and like still be the same band, but just have to change their name.
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty iconic for that Italian scene of just like, yeah, like ripping people off.
Fuck it, I'm this thing now.
Right.
Even like the direct, right? A lot of those the Fulci zombie movies are just like unofficial sequels to Night of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah, I was all just trying to capitalize on success. Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue did that too, because it came out. He saw Night of the Living Dead like before most of Europe had seen it, and he was like, "Fuck, I gotta make this movie before it gets over here."
Yeah. No, hell yeah. No, and that's one of the things that makes Italian cinema so like interesting in general is just like the change, like the attachment to American cinema, and then like how when it's wildly different. You know what I mean? Like you think that they would
Yeah,
do more like with their actual films, like they want it to take place in America, which is which is not weird. I understand trying
that's
to
where
get
the
like
money
the
was.
yeah, and then like they'll change, like they'll try to attach their names like sequel wise to like make the money, but then they don't do the things like they don't give a fuck about the gore. They'll go balls to the wall. They're like, acting doesn't need to be that great either.
The name, it's all just to get you in the door. Once they have
Yeah.
your ticket money, that's it. And they would do things like change their names for American audiences. Luigi Cozzi famously went as Louis Coates when he was trying to be an American in his movies. Yeah, no, it's where the money was. So you try and make everyone think your movie is American.
Yeah. And of course, as they made more money, they started grabbing some like American, like of course, like John Saxon, whenever did some stuff. You had,
Yep.
uh, I don't even know, I can't remember the guy that, I can't remember his name, but I just think of him because I was like linking him to John Saxon. But the guy that's the lead of Tenebrae, I know he was like an American actor and stuff like that too. And,
Yeah,
uh,
I can't remember his name either. But then, yeah, like Christopher George and Linda Day
Mhm.
did a
yeah.
bunch of, pieces. What was the other one? Crematory. There's one where they're in a funeral home. I can't remember what the name of it is right now.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, it's crematory or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll say
Um,
was Italian horror for funeral home doesn't narrow it down because they have so many of
I
those
know, yeah.
movies.
One of my favorite videos on the internet. There's this promo video of this professional wrestler who like goes to a morgue and looks at a bunch of dead bodies, but he's like ripped as fuck and just talking all this wrestler shit the whole time.
Oh yeah, like cutting promos on the dead. Fucking.
yeah, no, it's a great clip.
Oh yeah. And then of course my final question that I like to ask all my guests, before wrapping up the show is, do you guys have a horror story of your own? And it could be from, a bad day on the road with one of your projects, or it could be something, in your personal life that was scary as shit, whether it's paranormal or, like actual like real life horror.
Trying to think. I've never had like anything like strictly paranormal. Um, we met a really scary guy in Ottawa last time we were there.
Yeah, last time we were in Ottawa, this guy like he asked for a hit of a joint and then started saying all this stuff about how he's gonna kill us and
What the fuck?
He was like, "How could you let a man die right over there?" And just
Yeah.
pointed at a random spot in the street where nobody had died.
we just
not
kind
in
of
Ottawa.
gave him the weed and we're like, it's
We
all
gotta
right,
get at it.
it's all right.
But he was a very frightening individual. He kept talking about murder.
Man, I'm trying to think of like horror stories.
I know. I'm just like, where we were like frightened.
I mean, sometimes driving the bus through like snow.
Oh,
pretty
Jesus,
stressful,
yeah.
yeah.
There was, when we did Froginator 4.
We were driving in this snow, and then a car passed us.
It was like a
And-
truck.
No, I'm sorry. There was like a small regular ass car that passed us. It was going really fast, but then like 2 minutes later, we see it just buried in snow on the side of the road.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like you couldn't see the lines on the road. That's it looks like the warp speed from Star Wars with all the snow
Yeah.
coming at you. Like can't see shit. We were in like Wyoming at the beginning of January,
Yeah.
and yeah, no, that was we like all like 5 or 6 of us on the bus were like right up front, like glued to the road, making sure we didn't crash.
Yeah.
And yeah, thankfully we were okay. But that was pretty scary.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't imagine the like extra fear of like, for one being in a van with a trailer and stuff, and you automatically have like a little bit of like extra less,
Oh,
I'm
we,
like,
we drive a 30-foot school bus.
oh, oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
That's fucking sick. Hell yeah, that's even
Yeah, so we were,
scarier
yeah,
though.
we're
Still,
doing that in a big ass school bus.
yeah, as I say, that's even scarier than shit because it's
Yeah.
just as big as fucking the traction and stuff. That's the word I was looking for. Traction wouldn't be that great.
But we
So I can
got-
only imagine.
That's
like,
that's the one thing I will say. We have some beastly tires. It's the same tires you'd see on like semi trucks.
fuck yeah. No,
Yeah, so
that's awesome. That I drive a school bus. No, that's rad as
that's
fuck.
sick. That's what short ass bus is about.
Oh hell yeah! I didn't even realize that's
It's about our short ass bus.
It's fucking so sick. No, I can only imagine trying to drive that thing though. Like you said, but one of the things that the reason I brought up even the trailer and stuff was because I was just thinking about like having all your gear, like that fear of like if you wreck, you not only fuck yourselves up, but you might lose all that money in gear, and you guys lose even more money if you wreck that short ass bus. You might not. That's probably harder to repair and find parts for than like a normal van or something would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I could pretty confidently say like in those situations our gear is very low priority.
Oh no, no,
I
I know.
think
I'm
we're
just saying
I
it's
think we're
like
looking for, our bodies and, the vehicle and being able to get back home and
I'm not.
There was the trailer thing made me remember though. I was talking with some of the guys from Ex Mortis like a year and a half ago, and they had a story about driving on some really bad snow and ice, and their trailer jackknifed, and one of them woke up just in time, like woke up and lifted their head, and as soon as they lifted their head, the back of the trailer came and slammed into the van, like
Yeah.
right where their head would have been. So if
Holy
they
fuck.
hadn't moved, that would have really fucked them up.
Yeah, no, that shit's scary,
Yeah,
especially because
you gotta be careful out there.
yeah. Yeah, the way people will move around in a car to get comfortable to sleep or like, in any kind of vehicle, to sleep on tour, that shit gets that's the type of shit that I'm sure y'all talking about, just being like wide awake, like nobody's sleeping when you're in the snow and shit like that.
No,
Everybody's on
yeah, we
alert.
were
Yeah.
all literally standing at the front of the bus, like glued to the road.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. No, I had a buddy. It wasn't even snowing or anything like that, and it was one of those shows where it's like we weren't on a tour or nothing. We just went up to like because I don't play in a band now, but like I used to play in a couple of projects, and we were like going up to Virginia for a show, so we were traveling separate. And he had a Jeep with his drums in him, and he got like T-boned hard as fuck in the middle of the night. And luckily he was fine, but it like tore apart like the back of the Jeep and stuff like that. And I'm just like, fucking, this is wild. Like and I could, but the
But
problem was is like we were all in other cars like bunched up together sleeping. So if it was one of us that got hit, it would have probably killed at least two people because of the way that we were all just like we all rode in
Yeah,
cars so
you
he
gotta
could
get
have
in
everything
the.
in the Jeep. Yeah.
I guess I do have one story. It's way more sad than scary, but we were filming the video for Blood Diner, and that was at a house show in Albany. And then like 3 days before, we had this really big fan of ours. His name was RJ Fivey, and he was in a serious car crash. And then like right before we started filming the video, we got word that he died in the hospital.
Holy fuck.
Um, and it was a very like conflicting moment there where I was like, okay, everyone here is mourning the shit out of this guy, but like, should we go through with this? And we ended up doing it because, simply off of the fact that like he would have loved to be here. He would have loved to be in this video.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, rest in peace. That was really, yeah, that was pretty sad.
Yeah. No, but I definitely understand that though. Is like sometimes you have to like do what like you said, kind of do what they would want. Like think about like for instance, it becomes more of a
Yeah,
dedication to them instead of a mourning.
right.
Yeah.
After we shot the video, everyone kind of like came to, and it was pretty somber, but yeah, it was definitely cathartic too, like just all those people being in that room and kind of honoring him.
No, definitely. No, it's nice that y'all got to be together to nobody had to go through it alone in that group for sure. So
Yeah.
no, hell yeah. But no, but not that there's a good way to segue out of that to promoting your stuff, but do you guys want to remind the people about the new record, and just of course if they want to look, this will come out the first Friday of November, so you guys might still be out on tour, if they want to try to
We will.
catch
Oh
a date in
yeah.
the back
The,
half.
yeah,
So
the tour's 7 weeks long, so
fuck yeah. Oh
we're
yeah, I
gonna
was
be
about
on
to say
tour.
there was a lot of dates, so I figured it would be. And it
But
was,
yeah, Retrodeath comes out October 24th.
So it's
Comes
out.
out everywhere. Yeah, catch us out on tour. I think on November 1st we're gonna be
We're in North
in
Carolina. We are
yeah,
at Chapel of Bones
Oh, yeah.
today.
yeah. If you come out to the show, we'll get you on the guest list. Have you been to Chapel?
no, the last time I was in Raleigh, I was trying to go out there just for some coffee and stuff, but they had weird hours and like
Well,
what I
that's
was doing
sick.
conflicted with it. So
Chapel with Bones it's a coffee shop.
yeah, no, hell yeah, I might try to get out there. I didn't realize Chapel Bones was on the thing. That's not too far. I might try to make that happen because I
Yeah,
took some
we'll
time
list
off.
you
But
happily.
It's a really sick spot. You should definitely check it out. Lots of good metal shows happen there.
hell yeah. No, and if y'all are nah, I guess by the time y'all would be too busy with tour anyways. But I was gonna say that there's a theater like 30 minutes from there called the Carolina Theater, and they show a bunch of like retro stuff. They're literally turning like 100 years old next year. But they've been showing like this whole past weekend they showed like From Beyond, Christine,
Oh
Army of
yeah, dude.
Darkness, and stuff like that. So
I wish we had stuff like that closer to here. We have Coolidge Corner Theater, and they do that. They're pretty good about showing old stuff, and they get yeah, they do it monthly, and they get like the actual like a film reel to show it with, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it on 35.
But yeah, I wish there was something a little more local and a little more frequent.
Yeah. Now the Carolinas out in Durham, which is like closer to Raleigh, but I go out there like that. I make special trips just for like when they do like for Father's Day, they did a special they do double features on every Friday. And sometimes it's science fiction, comedy, and this and that. But on Father's Day, they did Creep Show and Maximum Overdrive. So I
Nice.
drove
No,
like
no, I
great
love
pick.
Maximum Overdrive, dude.
no, I was
Did
so
you
stoked.
see? Did you see like someone found the truck, like the piece for the truck of that, just like in the woods somewhere?
Yeah, it used to be the guy that restored it and everything used to have it here in North Carolina because I got to see it at a convention one time. But it was like the last time he was having it at a convention in North Carolina, and he's sending it to, now I think it's at a museum in like Ohio. It's like it's at some museum, but yeah, he used to carry it around to like conventions after he
It's
restored the Goblin.
He just found it in the woods.
Yeah, and he was it looked nice and everything. He had it. It was
Yeah.
they had that truck there. The Jeepers Creepers truck was at it was a con in Raleigh
Oh,
called like Mad
sick.
Monster Con or no, Carolina Fear Fest is what it was. And there's a guy from North Carolina that just bought the car from It Follows, so that car was there too. So like the car from the front cover
Cool.
that
Yep.
she's like hanging out of and stuff. So but no, hell yeah, I'm stoked to check out the rest of the record and definitely hear the outro with Tim Capello. That's fucking sick that
Hell
you guys
yeah.
got him. So real quick, you might
He
ask
did
me
a
how you guys got
crazy
him.
job.
I emailed him and he dug it.
Fuck
And
yeah.
It was really easy and nice to work with and just a pleasure.
Yeah, he literally like he was supposed to play a this place called 8020 Burger Bar in Virginia Beach, which is where I go to a lot of like local shows and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
which is literally like a restaurant. He was just gonna come play and like hang out and sign autographs and stuff, but he had car trouble, so he did. But this was like last year sometimes. But that just shows like the kind of guy he is. What do you say?
He still tours like yearly.
Yeah, that's what and
Yeah, you'll probably get another chance.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say is he's like so active now and he's not like he's not strict about what he does, you know, like he'll play a show like wherever, you know, as long as he knows that it's like people that will enjoy him and are his fans and stuff. He seems very like you said, communicative, you know, like when you reached out, responded and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it was very, very easy to work with and very nice and friendly.
oh yeah. No, and so were you dudes. I appreciate you guys for coming on the show. So
Thank you, man. Thanks for having us. This was a lot of fun.
oh yeah.